We welcome you to this Saturday afternoon edition of the Northwest Athletic Conference basketball as we bring you the visiting Umpqua Riverhawks and the home team Mount Hood Saints. We'll get to the starting five in just a moment as you can hear our lovely public address announcer Albert Hensley announce them live, but we will get to them in just a moment. The Umpqua Riverhawks come in with a record of 21-4. They are 9-3 in the conference. Uh, And for Mount Hood, they are 6-18 overall, 2-10 in the conference. Unfortunately for the Saints, they have been eliminated from postseason contention. But for the Riverhawks, they are ranked as the second team right now, just behind the Lane Titans if the postseason starts today. Starting five for the visiting Umpqua Riverhawks, it is number 3, Brooklyn Feely, number 11, Audrey Miller, number 24, Rachel Noyce, number 25, Georgia Midori, and number 30, Maleata Palamalu, her nickname Molly Palamatu. As for the Mount Hood Saints, starting five with number 12, Brianna Lewis, number 15, Michaela Patterson, number 23, Lacey Pensner, number 24, Autumn Baumgardner, and number 30, Kaylin Nowak. Our officials for tonight's game, led by crew chief Faith Hebert and umpires Trevin Perry and Amori Coates. Umpqua Riverhawks defeated the Mount Hood Saints back on March 3rd. Sorry, I have the men's side. That is incorrect. The last meeting, Umpqua defeated Mount Hood 85 to 70. I'm sorry. My notes are not very good. Umpqua has won the last 10 games against the Saints. The last Saints win came on January 5th of 2019. 78-72 was the final. We are ready for tip-off as it is controlled by the Saints as Nowak will bring it across the floor. Saints wearing the all-white unis as Nowak with an air ball, but a rebound. Patterson puts it home and an early 2-0 lead for the Saints. Back to what I was saying before, I confused myself a little bit. The last meeting was back on March 3rd of last year. So it's almost been a year since these last two teams met. They have a rescheduled game on Wednesday. This is the first meeting between both of these teams as one of the Umpqua Riverhawks players is down right now. She was able to get up under her own power and now just kind of standing over there, hunched over. That is number 3, Brooklyn Feely, as she gets a round of applause from the crowd here at the Yoshida Event Center. Just 9 seconds in to this first quarter. So it looks like we will get a substitution for her, and it looks like it will be number 23, Kiera Bennett, that will be taking the place for her. As Michaela Patterson got the scoring started for the Saints, an early 2-0 lead as now the Riverhawks bring it up the floor, moving from left to right, wearing the all-green unis with the white numbers. Carried it across, now top of the key, over to the left wing, now to the corner. That one is Midori. That one gets poked away and intercepted. The Saints have it. Patterson gets it over now to Baumgardner. Baumgardner to the left side. Here's Pensner. Pensner inside to Nowak. Nowak underneath. Nowak goes up. Can't put it home. It's rebounded by the Riverhawks. Carried up by Miller. Gets it across over to the left wing. Miller's got it again. Now throws it across. That's Midori. Midori on the right wing. Gets it over to the left side. Now into the corner. Now inside. That's Noyce. Noyce moving. Guarded by Patterson. Gets it back out to the wing. Carried it inside Midori. Midori is going to be called, and that's going to be a foul against the Saints as she was running underneath the basket. So it'll be an inbound for the Riverhawks. Audrey Miller will inbound her from underneath the basket, looking for somebody to get it to, as she will. Inside as a shot, not good, as the rebound cannot be put home. Rebounded there by Bennett. Bennett gets it back across now to Miller. Miller with a jumper to get the scoring started for the Riverhawks. The foul against the Saints is against Patterson, as now it is Baumgardner to bring it up the floor. And now over to Lewis, but she is going to be called for the travel, and that is going to turn possession back over to Umpqua, all tied at 70 seconds into this first quarter. Lewis guarding Midori as she brings it up. It's tipped out of play, but possession will stay with Umpqua. So Palamalu will hand the ball back to the official, who will give it right back to her, as she will inbound it from the far side over on the left side. Looking for somebody to get it into as she throws it in. That one's caught by Bennett. Bennett, top of the key, moves to the inside, gets it across now. Here's Palamalu. Now gets it inside, back out. Three on the wing. Off the iron, no good, as the three was no good by Miller. Here come the Saints. It's Pensner. Pensner at the logo, gets it over to the right wing. Here's Baumgartner, gets it back out Lewis. Lewis going to take a three. It's off the rim, but no good, as she was called again for the travel, and that's going to turn the ball back over to Umpqua once again. So it'll be inbounded by Noyce as she gets it into Midori, as Midori will cross the timeline at the top of the key. Now gets it back across now to Palamalu. Gets it back, and now Miller almost lost the handle of that. Gets it inside. Now it's carried by Noyce. Gets it back out. Here's a three, top of the key, and it's hit. Molly Palamalu hits the three, and Umpqua up 5-2. 2 minutes into this opening quarter. Here comes Baumgartner. Baumgartner gets it over now to Nowak. Nowak at the free throw line. Moves across to the right side, looking. Now trapped, gets it back out to Patterson. Patterson dribbling inside, now gets it back out. Here is Baumgartner. Baumgartner got it poked away, but there's going to be a foul called, and that will retain possession to the Saints. Foul there is going to go against Georgia Midori, as the Saints will inbound it from underneath the basket. It'll be Patterson to handle the inbounding duties. Patterson looks for a long pass and gets it in now, and now Pensner with one that hung on the rim for a second but falls in to make it a 1 point game. 5-4 is the Riverhawk lead. 7.5 to go here in the opening quarter between these two teams. Thought about a three, didn't take it. Now it's inside to Noyce. Noyce goes up and puts it in off the glass. Contested by a defender. She's able to put it home, and it's a 7-4 lead for the Riverhawks. Here's Baumgartner. Baumgartner to the inside, puts it in. No, it was short, as now here comes Palamalu the other way. Palamalu looks. It gets it inside, tipped away into the hands here, and that shot no good by Midori, and it's going to be a turnover, and the Saints are going to get the ball back. So here is Nowak as she will inbound it on the end line. 7:07 to go here in quarter number one, as she gets it into Baumgartner. Baumgartner will bring it up the floor, crossing the logo over on the right side. Now looks, gets it over to Patterson. Patterson back now. Here's Merrill. Merrill on the right wing, gets it across now. Here's Pensner inside Merrill. Steps into it. Now lost it, as that one goes out of play, and possession will go to Umpqua. As that whistle will stop play with 6:41 to go, as Umpqua was on the verge of getting it in the basket there, as my color analyst for the day finally gets here, Cody Runzil. Glad you were able to join me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. As it's in the last name, I was running here.
As that one put in by Bennett, as that extends the Riverhawk lead up to 5 with 6.5 to go here in the opening quarter. Now carried it across. Merrill's got it, gets it back over. Here's a three for Pensner, as that one is no good, but the offensive rebound comes back out to Baumgartner, as she's got it over on the right wing. Now carries it over to the left side. Here's Pensner again, moves to the inside, puts up a shot, off the rim, no good, rebounded by Miller. She brings it up, gets it over now to Palamalu on the left side, gets it to the corner. Here's a three on the way. It goes off the top of the backboard. It's rebounded by Patterson. Long pass ahead to Pensner on the run. She's going to put up a shot. It's short, and it's rebounded there by Bennett. Bennett gets it back. Now here is Afasti. She puts up a shot. It's no good. Ball out of play, and possession is going to stay, I believe, with Umpqua. With just over 4 minutes played, as a correction on that, it'll be Saints basketball, as it'll be Savannah Burke coming in to inbound it. She does to Baumgartner, as she will bring it up the floor. As she moves from left to right, gets it across. Here's a three on the way for Pensner. It's off the iron, no good. Offensive rebound keeps it alive. Back out to Burke. Puts it in. The rebound there for Burke. She puts it in. It's a 3-point game. 9-6 with 5.5 to go. Here's Palomalu. Gets it inside. That's Bennett. Bennett puts up the shot, and she puts it in. So Patterson will inbound right after that to Baumgartner, as Baumgartner brings it up the floor over on the right side. Gets it inside to Merrill. Lost a handle. Got it back. Tipped away and out of play. But possession will stay with the Saints. So the inbound will come from underneath the basket here for the Saints. Patterson will inbound. About 5.25 to go here in the opening quarter. Gets it to Baumgartner, who fires a three. Way too strong on that one. It's out of play. And the Riverhawks take over. So inbound now comes from Noyce to Afasti, as she will bring it up the floor. Gets it into the corner. That's Palomalu. Gets it back to Afasti. Long pass ahead. Here is a three on the way around and out, as Miller could not hit that. The rebound up no good. Into the hands of Merrill, as now Pensner brings it up. Long pass ahead to Burke. It's poked away. It's almost intercepted. It goes out of play, and it'll be Saints basketball. So now timeout on the floor, just past the halfway point of this opening quarter. 4:50 to go, and the Riverhawks lead 11-6. Cody, any observations you've seen thus far?
First thing off the bat, I think Mount Hood is a little tense, a little tight. They need to loosen up a little bit. Some pretty big threes missed right there, just in the last 2 minutes. So once they start loosening up, I think those threes will start sinking, and that'll change the ball game.
Umpqua comes in as the second team in the division. Saints a little towards the bottom. This would be, even though the Saints, like I said earlier, have been eliminated from playoff contention, it would be a huge upset win and spoil perhaps Umpqua's chances at the postseason. Something I know the Saints probably want to do. They, even though the playoffs are kind of out of sight for them, they still want to be able to win this game tonight. So out of the timeout, it will be Saints basketball, as it was tipped out of play. As both teams retake the floor. And with 4:50 to go here in this first quarter, a 5-point Riverhawk lead, 11-6, as the inbound pass will come from Lewis, as she throws it in to Patterson over on the right wing. Gets it back to Lewis, top of the key, gets it over to Nowak. Nowak holds, gets it to Patterson. Patterson dribbles inside, lost it, puts it up. It's short and out of play, but possession retained by the Saints. So the Saints have it again, as it looks like it'll be Patterson to inbound, or no, it'll be Lewis again. Lewis will inbound from underneath the basket over on the right side. Gets it to Burke. Burke with a three on the way. Off the back of the iron, no good, and it's into the hands of Noyce. So here come the Riverhawks. Bringing it up the floor is Afasti, as she dribbles it over on the left side, gets it to the corner. Now here's a three on the way, and it's hit. It's Molly Palomalu with the three, and it's an 8-point Riverhawk lead, 14-6 with 4:15 to go. So here is Lewis off the shin, as that one goes out of play, but off the shin of the Umpqua Riverhawk, as possession will be retained by the Saints. Baumgartner checks back into the game, taking the place of Savannah Burke. And that is the only substitution thus far, as Baumgartner gets the inbound pass, gets it back over to Nowak. On the right wing, she's got a long pass ahead, tipped by Lewis, and it goes out of play. Possession turned over to Umpqua with just about 4 minutes to go here in quarter number one. The inbound pass comes from Noyce, as she gets it to Afasti, as she gets it over to the left wing. That is Bennett. Gets it back now to Afasti on the right wing. Gets it back over to Bennett. Now to the corner. Bennett's got it again. Gets it inside. Here's a shot off the glass. Counted in the foul as Noyce went up, puts it in, and gets an additional free throw. Did not have time to look up the statistics of the free throw percentages, nor did I print out those sheets. I completely forgot to. So we will get to free throw percentages later in the game, but that one is hit. So she converts on the 3-point play and extends it to a 9-point lead, or an 11-point lead, I should say, for the Riverhawks, 17-6 with 3 3/4 to go. Here's Lewis, a three on the way, off the iron, no. Rebound put up short. Patterson's got the rebound. Now it's back out to Nowak. Gets it back to Baumgartner. Baumgartner has it on the right side. Now dribbles inside, puts it up as she gets fouled, as she will go to the line to shoot two. So the foul there is going to go against Bennett, as it'll send Autumn Baumgartner to the line. Another substitution for the Saints. Lacey Pensner comes in for Michaela Patterson. Baumgartner at the line, 3.5 to go, down by 11. First free throw up. It is good, and that makes it a 10-point game. So one more free throw here for Baumgartner, as she will hit that one off the iron. It's no good, so she splits the pair, as possession will be turned back over to the Riverhawks, who have a 10-point lead with 3.5 minutes to go here in quarter number one. As now checking into the game for the Riverhawks is Emma Iono, as she will float a long inbound pass to Afasti, as she will bring it up the floor now for Umpqua. Motioning her team forward. Gets it over now to Palomalu on the right side. Holds it, now gets it back to Afasti over to the left side. Carried in by Miller, and the travel call is going to be called against Umpqua, and that will turn possession back over to the Saints, as it'll be Nowak to inbound it. Gets it to Lewis, as Lewis crosses the floor. Gets it now here to Baumgartner. Baumgartner to the inside, puts up the shot. It's no good. Lewis tries to make the save, as that one is tipped out of bounds, as possession is going to be retained by the Saints, as it will be Nowak to inbound. Looks for somebody to get it to, as she gets it to Baumgartner. Baumgartner runs inside, gets it back out to Lewis. Lewis is going to take a three, and she airmails that one. It goes out of play, and possession is once again in the hands of the Saints, as it'll be Nowak to inbound once again underneath the basket. Long pass ahead to Merrill. Top of the key. Now hands it off to Baumgartner. She's going to take a three. It's too long again, and possession turned over to Umpqua. And like Cody, you said before, those threes that they can't hit, it's a killer.
Yeah, they're not bad three attempts. It's just the follow through is no good. They're open shots, plenty of space, but they give up the miss and the rebound.
Nice little interception, though, as Nowak gets it back to Baumgartner. Saints get the turnover. Off the glass, no good. Into the hands of Nowak again. She goes up, no good, and it's rebounded by the Riverhawks. So here's Afasti as she brings it up the floor. 2-on-2 here. She gets it over to Miller. Now over to Bennett. Three in the corner. It's short. Rebound offensive to Afasti. Underneath, gets it back out. Here's a three now for Miller, as that one could not go. The shot off the glass and in for Palomalu, and that extends the Riverhawk lead back up to a dozen. 2 minutes to go here in quarter number one. Lewis gets it over now to Pensner. Pensner, a three on the way. Off the iron, no good. Lewis with the offensive rebound. Gets it back out now to Baumgartner. She takes a three as she hits it.
There we go.
Autumn Baumgartner hits the first three of the game for the Saints. Pulls them back to within 19-10 with 100 seconds to go. Now it's Miller. Gets it back to Afasti. Afasti, a rebuttal three. Around and out, no good. Rebounded by Nowak. Nowak will bring it up now for the Saints. Gets it to Baumgartner. Baumgartner on the left wing. Dribbles to the free throw line. Gets it back out to Merrill. Over to Lewis. Lewis, another three on the way. Off the iron, no good. Tipped and out of play. And possession will go to the Riverhawks with 81 seconds to go here in quarter number one, and a 19-10 lead. The inbound pass will come to Afasti as she brings it up the floor. So Afasti at the top of the key, now gets it over to Palomalu over on the right side, gets it back. Now here is Solomon, as that one gets poked away
Wonderful
by
defense.
Pensner. Pensner inside now to Baumgartner. Baumgartner carries it back out, gets it to Nowak, who cannot hit the short little jumper. As we have a tie up on the floor, possession is going to go back to Umpqua. It's going to be a foul. And the foul there is going to go against Pensner. Their first of the game and the fourth on the Saints. Each team has 4 fouls so far this quarter as we are under a minute to play here in the opening quarter. So here's a Fosti as she brings it up, gets it over to the left wing. That's Miller. Miller looks. Miller now dribbles away, gets it back to a Fosti. Gets it back. That's Palamalu. Now gets it back again. That's Miller. Miller back to a Fosti. Half a minute to go. A Fosti inside. Solomon turns around, fires, and she connects. Spins, floats, and scores. And that extends the lead to 11 with 20 seconds to go. Here's Nowak. Nowak gets it over now to Pensner. Pensner inside, tipped into the hands of Solomon. Solomon brings it up the floor. 10 seconds to go. Lost it. Into the hands now of Patterson. Patterson pass ahead. Baumgartner could not handle it. Possession will go to the Riverhawks with 5 seconds to go here in the opening frame. They lead by 11, 21-10. So Nowak checks out of the game. Taking her place is Solomon. As a long pass ahead to Afosti with 5 seconds to go. Afosti with 3. Looking. Now looks. Gets it back out. Here's a shot on the way at the buzzer. It's short, as it could not be hit there by Iono. As that will take us to the end of the opening quarter. 10 minutes down and 30 to go. The Riverhawks lead the Saints 21-10.
Hey, dude, what did you do before this?
Today?
Yeah.
Just got prepared.
Nice.
So I have the lineups. So just the women's side, just the men's side.
I think there's a lot more on the men's side.
And then I confused myself with the notes here.
How are the men? How's the men's team?
Both teams are limited playoffs. The men went on a little losing streak in the last month.
How long has the season been for?
All right, second quarter about to begin. 21-10. This is the Riverhawk lead. I did not mention the head coaches, who are the only coaches in attendance for both teams. The Umpqua Riverhawks are led by their head coach, Dave Strickland, and the Saints are led by their interim head coach, Jen Van Meter. Second quarter begins with the Riverhawks with possession of the basketball. Afosti now looks, gets it back to Miller. Inside, that's Iono. Iono spins and puts it in off the rim. So now here's Baumgartner as she brings it up now for the Saints. Gets it over to Pensner, as Pensner is going to be called for the travel, as it'll be Umpqua ball. Iono will inbound from the far side over on the right as she throws it into Afosti. Afosti over to the corner. Carried in. As now contested, gets it back out now to Palamalu, gets it back to Afosti. Afosti gets it inside, tipped out of play. Possession is retained with the Riverhawks. As the basketball makes its way down the corridor towards the bathrooms. Basketballs need breaks too, don't they, Cody? I'll take that as a yes. So here's Afosti. Afosti will inbound as she gets it into Iono. Iono underneath, puts it in. Oh, it's intercepted by Patterson. Nice little steal there for the Saints. Gets it to Burke. Now here's Baumgartner. Baumgartner at the top of the key. Now moves over to the right side, backs away, looking for somebody. Gets it to Patterson. Patterson inside, and it's poked out of bounds. and the Saints will retain possession. We're about a minute into the second quarter. As we have some substitutions here as Miller checks out of the game. Long pass is caught by Solomon as she gets it to Pensner. Gets it back now to Baumgartner. Pensner's got it again. Inside, tipped, and that one is into the hands of Umpqua. Long pass ahead is caught now by the last name I cannot pronounce. It's way too long. Her first name is Madison. As that one got poked away, out of bounds, and Saints will have it. So Solomon will chase it down as she will inbound it to Baumgartner as the referee gives her the place to stand as Baumgartner has it as they cross the floor. So Baumgartner, top of the key, gets it back to Solomon. Solomon now gets it back now. Baumgartner gets it back. Here's Patterson, short little jumper off the iron, no good, and tipped away. And it's into the hands here of Ella Baumgartner as she goes down. Foul's going to be called against the Saints. As foul there is going to go against Patterson.
Have you noticed any screens been placed by the Saints?
You know, that's a good question.
I don't think so.
I really haven't. They haven't really been.
I honestly think that's what's missing right now, because number 24, Autumn. What's her name? Autumn.
Autumn Baumgartner.
Yeah, she could be taking way more attempts down low if there was an easy screen, but it seems like she is getting doubled, if not tripled, each time she enters the paint. So a screen would really help in those situations each time she attacks the rim.
Speaking of Baumgartner, the other Baumgartner who is on the Riverhawks, no, they're not related, just put in the shot to extend the lead. 25-10 with 8 minutes to go as that one goes out of play as the Saints could not make anything work on that next possession. So Umpqua will take over once again.
Are they spelled the exact same?
They are.
Dang, how do you know they're not related?
Because I looked that up. They don't come from the same town.
Well, they could be cousins.
Who knows? Here's Afasti as she brings it up. Looks for somebody, gets it over to Madison. Now carried in by Iono. Gets it back to Madison. Madison looks, gets it back to Afasti. Here's Iona. She's going to take a three right wing, and she hits it. Another three for the Riverhawks. Extends the lead to 18, 28-10 with 7.5 to go here in the opening half. Here's Baumgartner as she brings it across for the Saints. Gets it to Nowak. Nowak, short little jumper is short, and it's into the hands of Iono. Iono guarded by two Saints defenders. Gets it ahead to Madison. Madison crosses. Now looks. Gets it back into the corner. Carried in by Noyce. Gets it back out. Iono, another three. It's good. Emma Iono, 2 straight threes, and she extends the Riverhawk lead. It's a 21-point lead, 31-10, as we dip under 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Here's Pensner, gets it to Lewis. Back out Baumgartner for three. Got it!
There we go.
That's what the Saints needed, a three from Baumgartner again, as that cuts the lead back to 18, 31-13 with 6:42 to go. Here is Afasti, gets it back over to Noyce. Noyce looks, gets it back out. Here's Madison inside, gets it to Iono as it poked away, but it's back into the hands of the Riverhawks. Fosty's got it again, gets it back out. Here's Madison, gets it inside to Noyce. Now carries it back out, Iono. Now gets it back to Afasti. Afasti, as time expiring on the shot clock, could not put it in. Offensive rebound keeps it alive. Iono on the right side, gets it back. Here's Afasti, got it poked away. Now it's into the corner. Now it's tipped, and now it's intercepted by the Saints. Merrill gets it ahead to Lewis. Lewis will bring it up the floor. Lewis looking, gets it back to Baumgartner. She takes another three, and it's around and out. No good. Offensive rebound keeps it alive. Nowak's got it. Back Lewis. Lewis a three. Got it! Brianna Lewis, her first three of the night. Back to 15, 31-16. 5:43 to go. Try to keep it alive as that one goes out of play, but possession will be retained by the Saints. There's a little bit of contact there from the Riverhawks. No foul was called. As now we have some substitutions. Afasti checks out of the game. Audrey Miller comes back in. As for the Saints, they keep the same five on the floor. As it will be Nowak to inbound on the far side as she gets it into Baumgartner. Baumgartner will bring it up. Gets it ahead now. Here's Nowak. Nowak dribbles inside, gets it back out to Baumgartner. A three on the way. No good. And rebounded by Umpqua. Carried ahead by the other Baumgartner. Now gets it back. Here's a three, or it's not a three. Faked a three. As it's a pass to the inside. Noyce has got it. Gets it back out now to Miller. Jumper. Got it. And that extends the lead back to 17. 33-16. Riverhawks lead the Saints with just over 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Baumgartner's got it for the Saints. Gets it inside to Nowak. Nowak fakes. Now goes up. Puts it up. And it's off the backboard. No good. And it's rebounded here by the Riverhawks. Here is Madison. Madison carries it inside. Now lost it as it's on the floor. As we got a tie up. And possession is going to favor the Saints. So it'll be Saints basketball off the tie up as we reach another timeout with just under 4 minutes, or with just under 5 minutes to go here in the opening half. And the Riverhawks lead 33-16. Taking a look at the current playoff projections here in the Southern Division, you have the Lane Titans sitting atop the number one seed. And the way the playoff format would work is they play the lowest seed in the playoffs on the north side, and that would be Treasure Valley. Other playoff matches, Umpqua would be taking on Yakima Valley. The third seed in the Southern Division is Clackamas. They would be taking on Walla Walla. And 4 is Shemeketa, as they would be taking on Columbia Basin, who is in fact the host of the NWAC basketball tournament in Pasco just a few weeks from now. So some games to keep an eye on today. PCC is playing against Lynn Benton. That is the number 6 and number 5. So crucial game there for the winning side. Could slip into the lower rankings and get into the postseason. Each team still with 3 games left. This is a very tight playoff race, Cody. So here is
Tight playoff race for Umpqua.
For Umpqua, yep. Yeah. Unfortunately for Mount Hood, both the men and the women
Yeah.
have been eliminated, but
Okay.
they always have the chance to play spoiler, and that's something that teams always want to do. Just look at the Lions from last season, defeating Green Bay, ruining their postseason chance
Yeah.
last season. Here's a 3 on the way now as that one is hit by Miller, as that extends the Umpqua lead 36-18 as we reach the 4-minute mark here of quarter number 2. So they have doubled up the Saints here as the pass got back out to Pensner. Here's a little jumper that was too strong, as now Madison will carry back up for the Riverhawks. Gets it now to Noyce, puts it in off the glass, no good, as that one's rebounded by Merrill. Gets it back to Lewis. Lewis, long pass ahead, caught by Baumgartner. Baumgartner goes up and she puts it in. Count it and one. A chance for a 3-point play, and that's something that the Saints crucially needed.
Who did the Saints play last time I was here?
That would have been Umpqua.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, no way, it's the same team.
Yeah, that was they don't call it senior day. I know it was their final home game. Sophomore night. Thank you. It was their homecoming basically, because it was the final home game. Let alone for the men's side, they would have a game against Umpqua at home 3 days later for a chance at the playoffs, which they unfortunately fell short. We'll talk about that more when we get to the men's game. But as for now, Baumgartner, she converts on the 3-point play, and it's back to a 15-point game. 36-21, 3 3/4 minutes to go. Here's a 3 on the way from Miller, as that one hits the iron, no good. Rebounded by Merrill as she gets it to Baumgartner. Baumgartner brings it up the floor. Approaching halftime here. Saints could definitely use some points. Here's Pensner, a 3. That one's no good, and it's into the hands of Noyce. Rachel Noyce got it ahead to Iono. Now a pass ahead off the glass. No good. Offensive rebound keeps it alive, as that one is no good as well. Nowak with the board as she gets it to Merrill. Merrill fakes, goes up, puts it in. Couple of straight points here for the Saints. 36-23, 3:12 to go. Now carried in Pass into Noyce. Noyce at the free throw line. Gets it back out now to Bennett. Bennett got it. And now she's going to be called for the travel. Saints ball with 3 minutes to go in half number one. So it'll be Nowak to inbound. We have just about 3 minutes to go. Merrill checks out of the game. Patterson is taking her place. As here is Baumgartner at the top of the key. As we dip under 3 minutes, gets it to Pensner. Pensner got it. Gets it back out Patterson. Now gets it back out Lewis. Lewis gets it to Baumgartner. Baumgartner a three. Off the iron, no good. And it's rebounded by Bennett. Bennett gets ahead now. Here's Madison. Madison goes up and can't put it in. Rebounded by Patterson as she's got it. Patterson looks, gets it to Baumgartner. 2.5 to go here in half number one. Baumgartner crosses. Now she's at the top. Gets it to Patterson. Patterson, short little jumper. Off the iron, no good. Nowak tried to grab the offensive rebound, but she couldn't. Ahead to Madison. Here come the Hawks. Gets it ahead now. Here's Noyce. Gets it to Miller. Miller gets it back out Madison. Madison, top of the key, gets it back to Iono. Iono, the inside, it got poked away, but a foul is going to be called against the Saints. Reach in foul there, as that one is going to go against Patterson. It's her fourth foul of the night, so she'll have to sit out for a few, I would imagine, here pretty shortly, or let her play for the remainder of the half. Nope, she checks out. Taking her place will be Raven Sullivan. As now Madison will inbound it from underneath the basket. Gets it in to Bennett. Bennett gets it back to Iono. Iono, as we reach the 2-minute warning, gets it back. Carried in by Miller. Gets it back now to Bennett. Bennett hands it away. Gets it back to Iono. Iono back to Madison. 3 seconds to shoot. Madison inside. Puts it up and in. Just as the shot clock was winding down, she puts in the shot. It extends the Umpqua lead back up to 15, 38-23 in the final 100 seconds. Here's Burke. Burke on the left side got it tipped away, and it almost hit the official as that one goes into the bench of Umpqua. Pensner will chase it down as it'll be Saints basketball with 95 seconds to go in half number one. Solomon inbounds to Baumgartner. Baumgartner ahead. Gets it ahead to Burke. Burke inside, caught by Sullivan as she passes it right to Iono. Here come the Hawks. Iono brings it up. Iono looking. Iono, she's going to take a three. It's off the front of the iron, no good. Rebounded by Baumgartner. Baumgartner carries it up. Baumgartner gets it over. That is Ludlow. Gets it back out. Pensner, she takes a three and hits it. Lacey Pensner from down deep. As we reach the minute mark, it's a dozen-point game. Iono gets it to Madison. Here's a rebuttal three. Off the iron, no good. Ludlow tried to get the rebound. As she could not, it's back into the hands of Bennett. Bennett gets it to Noyce. Noyce goes up, puts it in. No, but she is going to be fouled, as that will send her to the line to try to hit a pair of free throws before the half comes to a close. A couple of late threes, Cody, from the Saints, kind of helping their case a little bit. Still down by a dozen.
They're loosening up, but that was after a wild extended lead from Umpqua, so the catch-up point is even greater. If you wait too long to loosen up, is it too late?
The later you wait for the comeback, the harder it becomes.
Exactly.
As the first free throw is hit, as the second free throw from Noyce is hit, she got both, and it's back up to a 14-point lead. 47 seconds and counting. Baumgartner brings up the floor now for the Saints as she looks for somebody, gets it ahead to Pensner. Pensner thought about a three, didn't take it. Now gets it inside to Sullivan, who tried to put up a short little shot, but she puts it too much off the glass. No good. Here's Madison again. It's no good, but she's fouled. And again, a chance for Umpqua to extend the lead with some free throws with half a minute to go here in the first half. So the foul there is going to go against Pensner. And it's the fourth foul against the Saints here in the second quarter. Pensner's second foul. As now Grace Merrill checks back into the game, taking the place of Sullivan. So now here is, I'm going to say her last name, Madison Leala Felia. I apologize if I mispronounced that, but it is her shooting at the line.
That's an A for effort.
She
Jackson.
she hits the first, and now the second on the way is good. She goes 2 for 2. As now here come the Saints in the final 30 seconds. The shot clock is still on. It's about a second differential. So here is Baumgartner. Gets it ahead now to Ludlow. Ludlow gets it back to Merrill. Gets it back to Burke. Burke looks. Burke back. Pensner. Pensner at the top of the key. Pensner drives inside. Spinning. Pensner got it poked away. It's intercepted. 10 seconds to go here in the half. Now it's poked away again. It's back into the hands of Iono. 5 seconds to go. Iono inside. Puts it in. And now with 1 second to go, Saints not going to be able to get a shot off, as that is going to take us to the end of the first half. The Umpqua Riverhawks have built up a very large lead. They lead by 18, 44-26 at the end of 20 minutes. And Cody, we saw a couple of late pushes by the Saints in that first half. They hit a couple of threes. What do you think the halftime message is going to be?
If the halftime message was coming from me, I'd say take a charge. Defensively, we're letting up too many buckets down low. Take a charge. It's easy. All you gotta do is plant your feet, cross your arms, get hit. It's simple. But I've seen no charges, and that's something that I feel in the game of basketball is almost a secret. People don't do it enough across pretty much any league in the U.S. I'd say. Um, are we talking about just defense? You want offense as well?
Well, I mean, just kind of the overall message.
Overall message, yeah. So let me see if I got anything more defensively.
I mean, they have to be more aggressive on offense too. You know, they can't just be going for those threes. They got to be able to score on most of the chances they have.
Offensively, I'll just go to the offensively real quick because I definitely have some thoughts there. I'm gonna guess that the entire season they had a tough time dealing with zone defense when it comes to the offensive side of things. Dealing with the opponent's defense when they set up zone is a struggle because one, it's a struggle without a big man. If you don't have someone with height, you don't have an easy target to hit down low for an easy pass right into the paint. And I understand now that when you're facing zone, you can't just set a screen, because they're not going to switch. They have someone there covering that spot. So that's why there's been no screen setups offensively. However, um, that's where you need to focus on threes then in practice. And practice passing the ball, hitting the open body, and making that three. Making the three is crucial, obviously. And so, um, when I first got here, there was probably like seven or eight
Missed opportunities.
missed threes. That's a lot of points. What's that? 24 points?
About, yeah, 8 times 3,
points.
24.
Yeah.
Quick math. Switching over quickly to the Umpqua Riverhawks.
Yes.
They lead by 18, but there's still work that they can. There's still work to be done. They still have a half to hold it.
Yes.
What's going to be the biggest thing for them to hold this halftime lead and escape with a win and keep up in the division race with the Lane Titans?
If I were to give my halftime speech to Umpqua, I would say to that team, keep doing what you're doing defensively. It's working, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Defensively, that zone is working real well. It's causing turnovers. They're not making their shots. So defensively, we are borderline perfect, I'd say, for this game.
All right, second half coming your way in a few moments. We'll be back.
I'm going to get the ball.
Winding down halftime as the Umpqua Riverhawks they lead the Mount Hood Saints 44-26. For the Umpqua Riverhawks, they will see this Saints team in back-to-back games because the next time the Umpqua Riverhawks play will be at home in Roseburg 4 days from now on Wednesday when they will host these Mount Hood Saints, a game that had been rescheduled from earlier this year just because of the ice storm. And Cody, you had just mentioned you were here during that ice storm here in Portland. Affected a lot of people's travel.
Oh, it affected everybody's travel in the city of Portland and any of the surrounding cities. Honestly, yeah, windy, cold, a little bit of snow, freezing rain on top of that for at least 2 days, and yeah, getting around was pretty much near impossible without chains or snow tires.
Hmm. Well, Cody,
Yes, sir.
what are you looking forward to in the second half?
I'm looking forward to seeing just how effective the Mount Hood community coach was uh, during that halftime break. Seeing if they implemented any change to the offense and to the defense. Yeah, I'll definitely be analyzing, and if they made any changes, honestly, that lead that Umpqua has will shorten very quickly.
Taking a look at scores from around the division, that game I had told you earlier about the number 6 and the number 5 in the division right now, Portland Community College and Lynn Benton. Right now, PCC leads at halftime, 40-32, in some other games that are not really, as big in terms of playoff implications, but just some other games from around the division. You have the Clackamas Cougars who lead Southwest Oregon 43-28. That one already in the second half, just over a minute in as one more score to get here. Already halfway through the third quarter in Eugene, and the Lane Titans, the number 1 seed, lead Clark, the worst team in the conference, the best and the worst. They lead by 20, 52-32, again, with just about 6.5 minutes to go in that third quarter. Right here in Gresham, we're about to begin the third quarter of our game. 44-26 once again is the score. The Riverhawks lead the Saints as it will begin with the Riverhawks getting possession of the basketball as Iono has it on the right side. Iono goes up.
Oh,
It's
tough
no
call.
good, but she is going to be fouled. The foul there is going to go against Ludlow. Or no, I'm sorry. That's going to go against Merrill. Her second foul of the game. First foul of the second half. Just 7 seconds into this third quarter. So now we have some time to pull up the free throw percentage as the first free throw there is good from Iono to extend the lead to 45-26. We take a look at Emma Iono's free throw percentage on the season. She is a 74% shooter as she hits both of those to make it a 46-26 20-point lead 10 seconds into this third quarter. Here's Merrill. Merrill gets it to Nowak. Back out Lewis. Lewis for 3. Off the iron, no good. Merrill with the rebound. Puts it in. Offensive rebound turns into a second chance opportunity, and they convert on that, Cody. Something that they should be doing constantly here in the second half.
Yes, constantly.
So here come now the Riverhawks. It's Iono has it on the right side. Iono a long pass back out to Miller. Miller's got it, gets it inside. It's poked away.
Good
Saints got it.
defense.
Baumgartner brings it up. Baumgartner on the run. Baumgartner puts it in. No, rebounded into the hands of Noyce. Noyce with a long pass ahead. It's Iono on Merrill. 1-on-1, and she is beat. Iono puts it in, and the Riverhawks are back up by 20, 48-28 with 9 minutes to go. Here come the Saints. They are moving now from left to right here in the second half. Again, wearing the all-white jerseys with the red numbers. Merrill with a short little jumper. She banks it home.
I think right there is one of their solutions to that zone defense.
Just those short little shots. So here is Palomalu. Gets it to Iono. Iono has it on the right corner. Guarded by Pensner. Iono moves inside. Kicks it back out. Baumgartner almost had the steal as now we have a whistle and we have a foul that's going to be called against Baumgartner. like you said earlier, Cody, just a crucial call. She was just trying to go after the ball there.
Yeah, defensively, it's it's hard going after the ball, and then like when it's a loose ball foul like that, that's tough.
You know
Those
what?
calls are.
Watching the Idaho basketball game the other night, so many calls that fans disagree with. I mean, those officials to call those in real time, you still got to give them credit.
Oh yeah,
There's contact on the floor, so they have to blow the whistle. Here's Noyce as she couldn't put it in. Down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Miller, a three. Got it! Audrey Miller hits the three, and it's a 21-point lead for the Hawks, 51-30, as we approach 8 minutes to go here in the third. Here's Lewis, gets it back to Merrill. Long pass ahead to Nowak. Nowak gets it back to Baumgartner. Baumgartner back out Lewis. Lewis inside, gets it back. Here is Baumgartner. She floats a jumper, and she puts it in. So a nice little jumper there. Pulls them back to within 19, 51-32, 7 3/4 minutes to go. Carried in here by Midori. Midori inside as she is going to be whistled, and we got a foul call again. That's going to go against the Saints, as the foul there is going to go against the Saints. It's the third foul against them. Brianna Lewis is going to be called for the foul, and it's going to send Georgia Midori to the line as she is a 64% shooter as she hits the first. So that'll extend the lead back up to 20. 52-32, second free throw around and in. So it's back up to 21, 53-32. Here come the Saints. They've got a little bit of aggression here coming into this third quarter, Cody, and see if they can keep it up and keep scoring on those second.
aggression is the bare minimum you need to go into this half down 20.
Here's Nowak, a shot, that one no good. So they could not convert on that. Iono got it, as now a pass ahead is intercepted by the Saints. Nowak's got it. Nowak gets it to Baumgartner. That one gets picked away, and now it's Miller. Miller on the right side. Miller to the inside. Noyce has got it, gets it back out to Iono. Iono on the left side. Gets it back out Noyce. Gets it back to Iono. Iono guarded there by Baumgartner. A long pass ahead, Palamalu. Driving inside, puts it up. It's no good, but another foul is going to be called, and that's going to send her to the line. The Saints are doing a good job of not letting them score, but sending them to the line, especially with the last two trips, both players went 2 for 2. So we take a look at the free throw percentage for Palamalu, as she is a 73% shooter. First one on the way is good, so that extends it to a 22-point lead with just under 7 minutes to go here in the third. And the second one is good. She got them both. And here come the Saints. Lewis has the inbound. Lewis gets it down. Here's Pensner. Pensner moves. Now gets it to Lewis. Lewis back to Burke. Lost it off her shin, but got it back. Burke looks, gets it back out. Here's Pensner again. As now Lewis will fire a shot. That one's no good. And the offensive board is going to be grabbed. Foul is going to be called. It's going to go against the Riverhawks, as the Saints will inbound from underneath the basket. The foul there is going to go against Iono. It's her first. So now here's Nowak. Long pass head to Baumgartner. Baumgartner inside gets it, and now a pass goes out of play, and possession gets turned over to the Hawks. So now it'll be Noyce to inbound it. Riverhawks moving from left to right here in half number 2. Again, wearing the all green uniforms, the white numbers, as now it's carried in here by Midori. Gets it back out, Palamalu. Now we got a whistle, and it's another foul against the Saints. Brianna Lewis, her second, as that is going to send Palamalu back to the line. She went 2 for 2 on her last trip. Again, a 73% shooter this season, as the first one is on the way, and it is good. So that makes it a 24-point lead at 56-32. Second one on its way is also good. She got them both. She's 4 for 4 in her last 2 trips. As now the Saints will bring it up the floor. 25-point lead, 57-32. Saints got to get a couple of quick scoring drives going here. Here's Burke. Gets it to Baumgartner. Baumgartner off the glass. It's no good. Rebounded by Palomalu. Now she brings it up. Looking. Gets it back out. Carried in. Here's Miller. Miller gets it back out. Here's Iono. Iono looking. Gets it back. Palomalu. Palomalu driving in. Gets it back out now. Here's a 3 on the way from Miller, and she hits it. Audrey Miller with the 3, and the lead now 28 points, 60 for the Riverhawks and just 32 for the Saints. Here's Baumgartner, gets it back out Lewis. Lewis looks for somebody, gets it in, and now it's poked away, intercepted. Here's Midori, gets it ahead to Miller as she lays it up and in. And Cody, they have now gone up by 30, 62-32 as we dip under 5.5 to go. So here's Lewis. Lewis, top of the key, gets it over. Carried it inside. Nowak, high off the glass. Could not put it in. Miller with the rebound. Now ahead. Poked away by the Saints. Here's Baumgartner. Baumgartner tries to put up the shot. It's no good. And now the Hawks have it. Midori. Midori driving in. Puts it up. It's short. Rebounded by the Saints. Here's the long pass ahead to Burke. Burke catches up to it. Burke around. Burke puts it off the backboard. And she puts it in. As now Lewis tipped it away, but it's back into the hands of Midori off the inbound pass. We got a lot of substitutions coming in, as you can take a look at over towards the scorers table. 2 Saints and 4 Riverhawks about to come in at the next whistle. Here's the 3 on the way from Miller. It is around and out, no good. Rebounded by Midori. Midori gets it back out now to Iono. Iono on the right side gets it back to Miller. Miller gets it to Palomalu. Palomalu driving in. Now she looks. Now she spins and puts it up, no good. Tries to get the rebound again, and she puts it home. Back to a 30-point lead, 64-34, 4:15 to go here, third quarter. Here come the Saints. Baumgartner gets it back out now here to Pensner. She fires a 3. Off the iron, no good. It's rebounded by Palomalu, guarded by 2 Saints defenders. Gets it back to Midori. Midori ahead now to Joyce. Noyce gets it back. Here's a layup is in by Miller. So here's Lewis. Under 4 minutes to go with a 32-point lead here for the Riverhawks. 66-34 is their current lead. Here's Burke, a 3. Off the iron, no good. Offensive rebound. Lewis tries to grab it. It's out of play. Possession is going to go to Umpqua. So that'll bring us to a timeout here, I believe, as we are under 4 minutes, so they have to take a timeout. So now some substitutions here. 4 Riverhawks and 2 Saints, as we went a few minutes there without a whistle, Cody, and what we witnessed there was Umpqua extending their 30-point lead.
Yeah, 32-point lead.
Take a look at the upcoming schedules for both of these teams. For the Umpqua Riverhawks, like we mentioned before, their next game will be at home against the same Mount Hood Saints team. They have back-to-back, a reschedule just because of the ice storm back in January. For the Mount Hood Saints, they will have their final home game of the season on Monday against Southwest Oregon. And then they will have 2 road games to finish the season, Cody, and they are tough ones because they will be traveling to Umpqua and then to PCC, 2 teams that are in the playoff hunt right now, and those are 2 tough games to end the season.
Going?
That is for the Mount Hood Saints.
Oh, wow. And they're both away?
Both games, that is correct.
Oh, my.
Yep. Both teams have 3 games remaining. As we take a look here, like we mentioned earlier, Umpqua on the women's side have beaten the Saints the last 10 straight meetings. They are looking at number 11 right now and could be looking at number 12 on Wednesday. Saints, dating back to January 5th of 2019 was the last time the Saints defeated Umpqua, as that was a 78-72 victory, as we have a whistle and a turnover, as the Umpqua Riverhawks could not convert on that possession. And with 3:18 to go, it'll be Solomon to inbound to Baumgartner as the Saints will bring it up the floor. So here comes Baumgartner, gets it to Burke. Burke with jumper off the back of the iron, no good. As now here comes a Fosti. A Fosti ahead now, carried in by Madison. Madison goes up and she puts it in. Madison Leia Fita puts in the little jumper there, or the layup, I should say, and extends the lead. They have doubled up again. 68-34. Here's Pensner. Pensner on the right side gets it to Sullivan. As now that one goes into the hands of Bennett. Bennett gets it to a Fosti. A Fosti. Little jumper on the way. Short. Rebounded here. Got it back out. Now it's carried in. Noyce got it back over to a Fosti. Now here's a three for Bennett. It's off the iron, no good. Rebounded by Noyce. Puts it in off the glass, and it hung up for a second, but it fell in. That's twice now. One for the Saints, one for the Riverhawks, where a shot just hangs up on the rim and then finally drops in. So here come the Saints. Here's a three on the way. That one's short, as it was Pensner who could not hit that one. It goes out of play, and Umpqua will retain possession with 2:12 to go here in quarter number 3. So Nowak checks back in, taking the place of Lacey Pensner. So the inbound pass will come from Noyce to a Fosti, as she will bring it up the floor. So here's a Fosti. Gets it ahead now. Here's Bennett. Gets it back now to Madison. Got it to a Fosti over on the right wing. Now driving in. Puts it up. And in! It was a high arcing shot, but she puts it home, and it's a 72-34 lead for the Riverhawks as we dip under 2 minutes to go here in the third. Here is Baumgartner for three. It's good! Autumn Baumgartner hits the three, and it's back to within 35. Here come the Hawks. Another shot, no good. Oh, and we got a whistle as it was Nowak who took some contact, went down to the floor, but got up very quickly. The foul there is going to go against Madison, as the Saints will have possession with 90 seconds to go here in quarter number 3, down 72-37 here to the Riverhawks. Here's Nowak, gets it inside to Burke. Burke off the glass and in. So some possessions that have worked out for the Saints, a 3 and then a little 2 there, as that one is no good. Sullivan with the rebound as the Hawks could not convert on that possession. Here's Baumgartner. Baumgartner will bring it up. Baumgartner looking. Baumgartner to the inside. Puts it up. It's no good, but she's going to be fouled, and that's going to send her to the line. The foul there is going to go against Amaya Fosti. It's her first foul. So you take a look at Autumn Baumgartner's free throw percentage this season. 75%. As she tries to cut into this deficit just a little bit more. As the first one is around and out. No good. Now the second free throw for Baumgartner is on the way, and that one is good, so she splits them. And now it's a 72-40 game. Here's a Fosti in the right corner. A Fosti looking. Now gets it inside. Here's Bennett. Gets it back out. Carried in. Here's a shot high off the rim, no good, as Ella Baumgartner could not put it in. And now it's rebounded by Autumn Baumgartner. That's not confusing. Here's Baumgartner carried it ahead for the Saints. Gets it back to Sullivan. Sullivan in the right corner. Gets it to Burke. Burke, a little jumper on the way. Off the iron, no good. Into the hands of Madison. Madison brings it up for the Hawks. Gets it to Baumgartner. Baumgartner for the Hawks. Gets it inside. Tip back out. Here's Madison again. Madison goes, drives, no good, but a foul is going to be called with 28 seconds to go in quarter number 3. And the foul there is going to go against Kaylin Nowak. And that's going to send Leala Fitia. I think I've been pronouncing that wrong the entire game, but, I'm doing my best with the pronunciations there.
If they didn't tell you, you only know what you know.
She got the first. So now the lead is up to 33, 73-40. As we have 10 minutes and 28 seconds left of game time. Second free throw up. Second free throw is good. Shot clock off. So here come the Saints. Baumgartner will bring it up. Baumgartner gets it now. Here is Nowak. Nowak gets it inside to Sullivan, and a jumper or a little floater there could not go. Now with 15 seconds. Fosti got it lost out of bounds. Possession is going to be retained by the Hawks. As that one, or the Saints are going to have possession. So it'll be Nowak inbounding as she gets it into Baumgartner. 10 seconds and counting to go here in quarter number 3. Saints probably going to have the final shot. Here's Baumgartner. Baumgartner for 3. Off the iron, no good. Rebounded. Here's Bennett. Here's a long shot on the way. It hits the backboard. It came after the buzzer anyway. So Fosti tried to hit that one. She put some power underneath that as it hit the backboard super hard and came back out, but it was after the buzzer, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. But you know what? You're up by 34, so it's not like that one hurts. At the end of 3, it is 74-40. The Riverhawks have the lead against the Saints in meeting number 1 of 2 this season and the second to last home game for the Mount Hood Saints. Fourth quarter about to begin. We'll give you some scores from around the division right now with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Clackamas leads Southwest Oregon 53-46. At the end of the third quarter, it's PCC 51, Lynn Benton 49. And in Eugene, it is Lane 68 and Clark 46 as the fourth quarter begins with possession for the Saints. They could not score on the drive, but a foul is going to be called as that one's going to go against Ella Baumgartner, and it's going to be an inbound pass for Autumn Baumgartner underneath the basket. So here is Baumgartner, long pass to Lewis as she makes the catch. As Lewis got it over to Merrill, gets it back to Nowak. Nowak gets it back to Merrill. Here's Lewis, gets it across now. Baumgartner a 3. It hit the iron, but she's fouled. And that will be not 1, not 2, but 3 free throws for Autumn Baumgartner. So Kiera Bennett is going to be called for the foul. It's only her second of the game. So here's Baumgartner, 1 of 3 on the way, and good. So cutting into this deficit just a little bit more, Cody. It's 74-41. It's 33. Here's the second.
Correct. Slowly but surely, they got under 10 minutes to do their best to close that lead, that deficit.
2 for 2 thus far. We'll see if she can hit all 3 as the third one for Baumgartner is on the way, and it is around and out. So she goes 2 for 3, which still over 50%. Got to be happy with that. 1 point, at this point may not make a difference, down by 32 points, but here come the Riverhawks. Here's Bennett. Bennett to the inside. High, no good. Rebounded by Silliman. Silliman gets it to Baumgartner. Baumgartner across the timeline. Over to Lewis. Lewis back out. Here's Merrill. Gets it to Sullivan. Puts it off the backboard and no good. It's rebounded by Iono. Iono's got it for the Hawks. Iono looking. Guarded by Lewis. Gets it back now to Baumgartner. Gets it back to Fosti. Fosti inside. Spinning. Kicks it back out. Baumgartner inside. She gets it back. Here's Iono. Puts it up. Around and out. No good. Got her own rebound. Iono again. It's no good, but it's going to be a foul against the Saints, as that will send her to the line. As the foul there, I believe, was going to go against Nowak. As we have some substitutions for the Saints, as it was Nowak who was called for the foul. Solomon and Merrill check out. It is Savannah Burke and Michaela Patterson who checked back in. First free throw on the way now for Iono is off the iron, no good. So it remains a 32-point lead, 74-42. Still has one more here with 8:55 to go in the game. as she will hit it, and that increases the lead to 33. 75-42. 8:52 and counting to go here in quarter number 4. Saints have it. Here's Patterson. Patterson in the right corner. Gets it back out to Burke. Burke gets it to Lewis. Lewis back out inside. Spinning. Nowak puts it up. It's no good. Nowak with the offensive board. Gets it back out. Here's Baumgartner 3. Top of the key. Off the iron. No good. Rebounded by the other Baumgartner for the Riverhawks. Long pass ahead to Afasti. Afasti over on the right side. Now looking. Gets it back out. Madison kicks it in. Now gets it back out. Here's Bennett. Bennett gets it back to Afasti. Afasti steps into a 3 and she drills it. Amaya Afasti hits the 3 and the Riverhawks are leading by 36, 78-42. Here's Lewis. Gets it to Burke. Burke looks, gets it back to Baumgartner. Gets it back now to Patterson. Patterson driving. Patterson up off the glass and in. She puts it home. 78-44, 7:50 to go. Here's a tip ball into the hands of Nowak. Back to Baumgartner. Baumgartner carries it across the floor. Baumgartner to the inside, floats it up, and it's good. Bouncing off the rim and falling down. It's 78-46, back to 32. Here come the Riverhawks. Here's Baumgartner for the Riverhawks. As she gets fouled, no, it's going to be a jump ball, but possession is going to keep the ball with the Riverhawks.
Quick jump ball call, I will say.
Not a lot of jump balls, and from a couple of the games I've noticed this season, there haven't really been a lot of tie-ups. Something that has kind of been avoided all season. We've only had 2 in this game tonight, one favoring each team. Pass was intercepted.
Oh, brilliant play.
As now we have a whistle, and a foul is going to be called against the Riverhawks. It's going to be called against Kiera Bennett. So
aside from that foul call, I forget who was in that play, but Mount Hood threw it off the knees of Umpqua.
Yeah.
So it would have been out of bounds.
I believe it was Nowak who threw it. 3 on the way from Burke, no good. Sometimes that can come back to bite you. As I can speak from experience, because if you remember a certain hoop session we had with one Jake Rowe, he did the same thing when we were playing one-on-one, and he threw it back at a place that the ball should never hit. And, yeah, it kind of knocked me out cold for a few minutes. So be careful when you do that play, folks. Here's Lewis, a short little jumper. It's off the iron, no good. Tipped and into the hands of Patterson.
And you just have to be extra careful around Jake Rowe.
Yeah, here's Patterson. Gets it back to Baumgartner. Baumgartner guarded by 3 defenders. Gets it back out Nowak. Nowak drives inside. Nowak gets it back. It's no good. The jumper would not fall, as now it's Afasti. Afasti gets it back to Iono. Iono off the rim, no good. Grabs her own rebound. Now lost. Has it poked away. On the ground. Into the hands of Burke. So the Saints were able to get something out of that. They turned the ball over, but they get the ball back. Here's Baumgartner. Baumgartner will walk it up slowly as we approach 6 minutes to play. Here's Lewis. Lewis, a 3. Off the iron, no. Burke tipped it back out. And now we got a whistle and we got a foul. And it's going to go against Iono. So the Saints are going to get the ball as she's going to be called for a push. So with 6:11 to go, the inbound will come from underneath the basket, as it'll be Autumn Baumgartner to inbound it. So Baumgartner gets it to Pensner. Pensner for 3. Around it in! Lacey Pensner, the triple rattles home. And all of a sudden, it's a 32-point game once more. 80-48. Here come the Riverhawks as that one is put in by Bennett. Here come the Saints. Lewis brings it up. Lewis driving into the corner. Kicks it back out. Patterson back out Lewis. Lewis inside to Burke. Burke to the corner. Baumgartner. Baumgartner got it poked away. It's out of play, but possession is going to be retained by the Saints with just about 5.5 to go here in the game. Saints down 82-48. 34 points the difference right now as Brianna Lewis makes her way over to inbound it. As Lewis will inbound it. She floats a long pass to Baumgartner. Baumgartner motions ahead. Now gets a screen from Merrill. I think that's one of the only screens we've seen as Lewis hits the 3. Cody, you were talking about it earlier. They need to set screens. Well, that screen from Merrill allowed the three to be hit by Lewis.
Big three. Big screen.
Timeout on the floor. It's taken by the Saints. 5:21 to go. And right now they are going to have the ball out of the timeout as they force Umpqua to turn it over. They
Now,
extend it to a media timeout. So it's a little bit of an extended break for us, Cody. We'll give you the remaining schedule for the Umpqua Riverhawks. We mentioned for the Saints, they have a couple of tests coming up. They have the Lakers coming in here for their final home game on Monday, and then they will end with 2 road games against the Umpqua Riverhawks and then against PCC. And one thing to note here is they will be traveling to across town to PCC in the finale, and one head coach or one assistant coach for the Portland Community College Panthers. I like to shout her out all the time. She left Mount Hood. So Kelsey, if you're listening to this right now, the Saints will be ending their season in your house as we are hearing my house being played right now by Flo Rida. Just kind of a coincidence there.
is it a coincidence? I think not.
So Kelsey Higgins, who used to be the assistant women's coach for the Saints, is now the assistant women's coach for PCC. They already played earlier this year. PCC defeated Mount Hood here at home, but now the Saints will be traveling to downtown Portland to take on the PCC Panthers. Taking a look for
They must
Umpqua.
be good like every season, I feel like.
I think they are. They're pretty good. They made the playoffs last year. They have a good head coach. But enough about PCC. Let's get back to our game here as Baumgartner puts it up off the glass. It's no good, but the rebound there is for Merrill, and she puts it home. So the Umpqua Riverhawks, real quickly, after this game, they will have Mount Hood on Wednesday. Then next Saturday, a week from today, they will have PCC, and then they will end on the road against the Chemeketa Storm in Salem. Here's Pensner. Pensner gets it back out. Now it's a long pass caught by Merrill. Merrill has the top of the key. Gets it back out Patterson. Patterson to Pensner for 3. It's off the front of the iron. No good. Rebounded by Merrill. She puts it up and in.
Back-to-back points.
Running out of breath on that play, but enough breath to tell you that Merrill puts in the rebound, and the Saints make a little late push here with 4.5 to go. 82-55. 4:25 to go. Here's Madison. Madison over on the left side. Madison off the glass and in.
You know what I just realized is, I'm I was like, wait, did Umpqua not have any subs this entire game? But they're all gonna come in. They're kneeling in front of the scoreboard.
3 from Baumgartner is short. And to correct yourself kind of there, Cody, is there has been substitutions throughout the game, and Umpqua has done this thing where they've substituted in 4s. They had 4 players come in
Is
earlier.
that what they've done every time?
I think so. They've had 4 players come in every time.
To me, in my personal opinion, that's smart. It keeps your team in groups thinking the same exact way. That way, you don't add one person who's out of the loop.
Yeah. And if it's the same 4 players every time, those 4 players, build team chemistry. They know how to act around with each other on the court. Both offensively and defensively. A substitution of 4 players. They work hard and they work together all the time. That can be a very beneficial thing as well. Well, while we were talking, a couple of points were scored. It's now 88-57 in favor of the Hawks. Lewis went up to try to put in a short little 2-point shot. It's no good, but she's going to be fouled, so that's going to send Brianna Lewis to the free throw line to try to cut into this deficit a little bit more as we approach 3 minutes to play here in Gresham as we reach another timeout. 3:07 to go. 88-57 is the Riverhawks lead. So out of the timeout, it will be Brianna Lewis to shoot free throws as we take a look at her free throw percentage this season. She is 71%. Well, unfortunately, Cody, by the way it looks, the Mount Hood Saints will drop to 6-19.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think they could score 31 points and under
31
3:10 left.
31 points and 3:07, theoretically. Let's talk about it right now as if the score holds as
I
it is.
would argue that wilder things have happened.
Yeah. I mean, I was at the Idaho game 2 nights ago, and we had an 8-point lead with 2 minutes to go, and we lost. So
That's tough.
basketball is a crazy sport. Things can happen. But assuming this result holds, the Saints will drop to 6-19 overall. They will drop to 2-11 in conference play. They will drop to 2-6 at home, tying their away record at 2-6. For Umpqua, they will improve to 22-4. They will go to 10-3 in conference play, and they will improve their away record. Get this, Cody. Their record on the road will be 8-1
For Umpqua?
for Umpqua.
Yeah,
Lewis
that's impressive.
Lewis misses the first free throws. That one hits the back iron, so she will still have one more, as she will try to make this a 30-point game, as she will. Nothing but net on the second free throw, as now we get to the 3-minute mark. As now here, carrying it up for the Riverhawks is Midori. Gets it back to Palomalu. Now over to Madison. Gets it back to Midori. Midori on the right. Now dribbles to the top. Gets it to Bennett. Over now to Miller. Miller gets it back over in Palomalu. Gets it back now to Madison. Madison on the right side. Madison drives in. Madison high and in. Count the basket and the foul. She has a chance for a 3-point play. So Michaela Patterson is going to be called for the foul, as now Patterson she fouls out. So she's done.
Oh, really?
Taking her place will be Autumn Baumgartner.
Unfortunate. She's probably
Well, she
tallest or second tallest.
fouls out
person.
with 2:43 to go, down by 32 points. So maybe not a bad thing if you're Patterson now. She's played a lot of the games, so now she gets to rest.
Yeah,
in terms of waiting for that next home game on Monday. Lewis grabs the offensive rebound. Lewis gets it back. Here's Merrill. Kicks it back out. Nowak. Nowak drives to the inside. Nowak got spun. Now lost it. Lewis tries to make the save. It's into the hands of Midori. As we are just about 2 minutes away from this one concluding, Midori puts it up, and she puts it in. A 34-point lead once again for the Riverhawks with 2:10 to go. 92-58. Now the question is, Cody, will the Riverhawks reach 100 points by the end of the game?
At this rate, yes.
Well, we will see. With 2 minutes
Gonna
to
be
go,
close.
they are 8 points away. Here's Lewis for three. It's off the iron, no good. Pensner grabs the offensive rebound. Pensner spins, looking, gets it back out. Lewis. Lewis on the left wing. Lewis driving, puts it high. It's no good. Rebounded by Palomalu. They have 105 seconds to get 8 points to reach 100. Not out of the question, but that's now our new bet. Now it's stolen away by Lewis. This is going to waste a little bit more time. Here's Lewis as she goes high, as she is going to be fouled, and that will send Brianna Lewis back to the line. So the foul there is going to go against Audrey Miller. So Brianna Lewis, who went 1 for 2 in her last trip, as we take a look. Coming out of the classroom there is the Umpqua Riverhawks men's team. They will be playing next against the Mount Hood men. And we'll get to all those records and statistics when that game is about to begin. Lewis hits the first free throw. 95 seconds to go. It's a 92-59 lead, as Lewis will try to hit both to try to make this a little bit closer at 32, which is kind of what it's been for most of the second half, Cody. She does. It's 92-60 with 92 seconds to go. So here is Midori, gets it back now to Miller, gets it over to Madison. Now here's Palomalu. Now she drives in, floats it up, and in. There's 94. They're 6 points away, Cody. They have 80 seconds to get 6 points to reach 100. Here's Baumgartner. Baumgartner gets it back to Lewis.
Gonna be close.
Lewis gets it back now to Pensner. Pensner to Merrill. Back out Lewis. Lewis on the right side. Lewis spinning. Gets it back out to Nowak. Nowak gets it now to Pensner. Got it tipped away, and that one's going to go out of play. Possession is going to be retained by the Saints. 13 seconds on the shot clock. 1:03 to go in the game. So now here are the Saints, as it will be Nowak to inbound it, as she gets it to Baumgartner. Baumgartner on the left wing. Baumgartner inside Merrill, poked away out of play, as we are just under a minute now. 6 points separate the Umpqua Riverhawks from 100 points.
Two
So
threes,
2 threes or 3
three
twos.
twos.
So here comes Midori. Midori hands it off now as that one got across to Madison. Madison gets it back. Here's Pamalu. I mean, they're probably just going to run a little more time. Here is a ball on the ground. It's a tie up, and
Wow.
it's a foul. So the foul there is going to go against Baumgartner. So possession is going to, or no, the foul is going to go against Umpqua, I believe.
Yes.
So
There's a bonus.
it'll send Autumn Baumgartner to the line. The foul there is going to go against Palamalu. It's her first foul. So Baumgartner at the line will miss the first as it was just a little bit short, hits the front of the iron. Still has one more as the second one on the way is good. So that makes it a 33-point game, 94-61, 40 seconds to go. Again, Umpqua 6 points away from triple digits. Here's Madison, gets it inside. Here's Palamalu. Palamalu gets it back out. Here is Miller, gets it inside, tipped and out of play, and possession is going to be retained by Umpqua. You know, Cody, there's a question I have to ask you post game. We'll get to the end of the game first, just because you were here with me for the last game against Umpqua.
Yeah.
Long pass ahead, gets it to Miller. Miller with 12 seconds on the shot clock, hands it off Palamalu as now she goes down to the ground. There's a whistle, and it's going to be a foul against the Saints. It's going to be Baumgartner's foul. 21 seconds to go. As now I think for Umpqua, they're not really concerned about getting to triple digits. They're just going to run this out. They have a little bit of a break before they see these Saints again in 4 days on Wednesday. That will be at 5:30, by the way, in Umpqua. 13 seconds to go, 10 seconds to shoot.
Oh,
Here's a
2 points
lay-in.
closer.
So now with 9 seconds to go, they're at 96, 4 points away, but I don't think that's going to be enough. 3 seconds to go. Baumgartner kicks it out. Nowak a three at the horn. It's no good, and that will do it. The Umpqua Riverhawks defeat the Mount Hood Saints 96-61, the final deficit of 35 as they try to keep in race with the Lane Titans. With the win, the Umpqua Riverhawks will improve to 22-4. They will remain in second place behind Lane because the Lane Titans defeated they won their game earlier today against the Clark Penguins. So as we get set for the men's game coming up here in just a few moments, 4 o'clock is the tip-off time. Hoping to keep Cody Runsville here around for at least maybe the first half or most of the first half, depending on what he is able to do. But Cody, final thoughts on the women's game between Umpqua and Mount Hood.
Final thoughts. That's a tough loss. Anything greater than 15-point loss is really tough. It's tough to handle. But that honestly says a lot about your team, a lot about the coaching, and how much progress needs to be made, right? There's obviously an adjustment that needs to be made to the team for Mountain Community College. You could point out several factors. Umpqua had a pretty outstanding night. I mean, I'm just gonna guess, but like percentage-wise from three, I'd say they were above 50%. I'd say. Can you look that?
We can look that up. We can look that up as we take a look at some finals.
Certainly above 40%.
So as we take a look from some scores around the league. Clackamas, the Cougars defeat the Southwest Oregon Lakers, who will be coming in here on Monday. So both the Saints and the Lakers, when they play on Monday, will be coming off a loss. So, that's always something to note, Cody. When two teams come in off a loss, and for this game, actually, both these teams came in off a win. So Umpqua, their last game was against Clark. They defeated them 55-47.
Nice.
Or no, sorry, that was Mount Hood. Mount Hood defeated Clark on Wednesday 55-47. For the Umpqua Riverhawks, they defeated Southwest Oregon on Wednesday 89-63. So both these teams today came in off a win. As for Monday, both teams will be coming off a loss. So that is a little bit interesting for the matchup on Monday. Some finals from around the league. The Lane Titans remain in first place in the South. They defeat Clark 83-51. The game in Salem is just about over. PCC leads by 4, 66-62 against Lynn Benton. And then the only other game in the division today is Umpqua and Mount Hood. It sounds like I will have to be replacing some batteries in the audio mixer, as the beeping
Is that what that is?
means that the light is red. So I think it means I will be having to replace some batteries for the men's game. Take a look at the game here if I can. Let's see if we take a look at the stats here. For this is taking longer than I expected, but as
Come on, Jackson. You're supposed to be the man.
I know. Well, Cody, any while I'm doing this, any other thoughts you had on this game, or anything maybe getting ready for the men's game that you are excited
Yeah,
to
let's
see?
transition, huh? Um. Hmm. Yeah. Obviously, home court advantage plays a big factor, especially for the men's league. Um, last year, you say Mount Hood Community College beat Umpqua, so they also have that advantage. Do you know how many sophomores moved on from last year's team? I wanna say like
There
4 or
are
5.
just a few sophomores on the current Mount Hood team. There
Wow.
are 5 of them.
5 sophomores.
5 sophomores.
Okay, that's
Some
quite a few.
some names that you might remember from last season include Wayne Hampton, Darrigan Stevens, Pat Robinson, Trey Barber. Those are just some of the names that were on the teams last year. Some of those guys didn't really play that much last year. They've been getting a lot more
Sure.
playing time this year. To answer your question, Cody, the Umpqua Riverhawks women's team, they went 8 of 18 from 3-point range, so they went 44%.
Okay, above 40%. That's what
Yeah.
I called.
And for Mount Hood, they went 6 of 30 from 3, so just
Wow.
20%.
30 attempted 3-pointers.
That
They
is-
made 6 of them.
Mhm. But
Oh my
Mount Hood
goodness.
scored 21 points off second chance opportunities. They scored 16 points off turnovers. For the Umpqua Riverhawks, they only scored 16 points. It was basically a role reversal. Points off turnovers, 21-16 in favor of Umpqua. Second chance points, 21-16 in favor of Mount Hood. So just kind of a little bit of a swap there. But just a fantastic game, and we got another one coming up here as the men's Saints are taking on the men Riverhawks. That one is coming your way pretty shortly. Once again, the final score here from the women's game, it is the Umpqua Riverhawks 96 and the Mount Hood Saints 61. Cody, you were a little bit late, but I appreciate the help that you provided during this game, and hopefully we can see another good one here.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back with the men's game in just a few moments. Now, I think because